The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was outfitted with a carefully selected array of weapons designed to maximize its flexibility and combat efficiency, especially in light skirmishes and escort roles. Unlike larger warships that focused heavily on overwhelming firepower, the Arquitens class was armed for precision, tactical strikes, and defense against starfighters, making it a formidable asset in the Republic and later the Imperial fleet. Its armament configuration also allowed it to engage in various combat scenarios with remarkable versatility, whether patrolling remote sectors, conducting escort missions, or participating in larger fleet actions. In its first configuration, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was equipped with 4 turret-mounted twin-light turbolaser batteries. Positioned on rotating turrets, these turbolaser batteries allowed for a high degree of flexibility in targeting and were particularly effective for engaging smaller, agile ships such as enemy fighters, frigates, and light transports. The twin turbolasers provided sufficient firepower for repelling lighter attackers, and their turret-mounted design ensured that the cruiser could quickly pivot and adjust its firing angle to track fast-moving targets. The rapid tracking capabilities of these turrets made them well suited for dealing with sudden threats in unpredictable space environments. In addition to its twin-light turbolasers, the Arquitens class was armed with heavy port and starboard quad laser cannon batteries, with 2 on each side of the vessel. The quad laser cannons provided substantial close-range firepower, ideal for repelling swarms of smaller craft or any boarding shuttles attempting to close in. The side-mounted quad cannons were highly effective against enemy fighters and allowed the cruiser to lay down suppressive fire across a wide arc. This side-mounted configuration ensured that the Arquitens class could maintain continuous offensive and defensive fire, even when maneuvering in close-quarters engagements. For additional firepower, the cruiser's first configuration also included 4 missile or torpedo launchers, typically loaded with concussion missiles. These launchers added versatility by giving the cruiser the capability to launch devastating strikes against larger or more heavily armored targets. The inclusion of concussion missiles was particularly advantageous, as they could be launched from a distance and deal explosive damage capable of compromising enemy shields and hulls. This combination of laser firepower and missile capability allowed the Arquitens class to hold its own against diverse threats, from small squadrons to single, larger capital ships. In its second configuration, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser retained its 4 turret-mounted twin-light turbolaser batteries and 4 missile torpedo launchers. However, this version included a ventral quad laser cannon positioned on the underside of the ship. This placement provided an additional layer of defense and allowed the cruiser to cover its ventral side, a potential blind spot in the initial design. This ventral cannon was strategically added to prevent enemy starfighters or boarding craft from attacking the cruiser from below, a tactic often exploited by agile opponents. By adding a dedicated ventral cannon, the second configuration of the Arquitens class improved its defensive coverage and reinforced its ability to act as an escort vessel. The missile or torpedo launchers in both configurations allowed flexibility for various missions. Although concussion missiles were commonly loaded, these launchers could also be adapted to carry other types of payloads depending on the mission requirements. This flexibility made the cruiser a valuable component in fleet actions, capable of adjusting its firepower based on the threats expected during a deployment. In large fleet engagements, the Arquitens class could provide focused missile support from a distance, targeting key areas on enemy vessels and weakening their defenses for follow-up attacks by larger ships. In smaller skirmishes, the cruiser could use its missile payload to disable or destroy lightly armored enemy craft, even at range. Overall, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was designed to balance offense and defense while retaining the ability to move quickly and adapt to different scenarios. Its weapons loadout was carefully chosen to give it the flexibility to respond effectively to a range of threats, making it suitable for diverse roles, from fleet support and escort duties to independent operations. This adaptability in weaponry made it highly versatile and an essential asset within both the Republic and Imperial fleets, contributing to its widespread use and longevity across galactic conflicts. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was equipped with a powerful engine and propulsion system tailored for versatility and adaptability across a range of environments, from space to atmospheric operations. This was achieved through the combination of 3 Dyne 577 radial atomizer engines, which delivered the high levels of acceleration and speed necessary for both combat and patrol missions. These engines were central to the cruiser's role as a fast response vessel, allowing it to travel quickly between star systems and to maneuver effectively in the heat of battle. With a maximum acceleration of 1,800 g, the Arquitens-class demonstrated impressive speed and agility, especially for a light cruiser, enabling it to outmaneuver larger, slower capital ships and close in on its targets with precision. The Dyne 577 engines provided the Arquitens-class with a maximum atmospheric speed of 750 km per hour. This feature enabled the cruiser to perform limited atmospheric operations, making it capable of supporting ground forces during planetary assaults or defending Imperial facilities. Although not designed primarily for atmospheric combat, the cruiser's atmospheric capabilities made it versatile enough to fulfill support roles when necessary. This speed and maneuverability in atmosphere gave the cruiser a tactical edge during planetary operations, enabling rapid deployments and fast withdrawal when needed. The ability to move efficiently within planetary atmospheres also facilitated effective support in combined ground and air campaigns, complementing the firepower of the cruiser's weapons in assisting ground troops and providing a mobile, flexible platform for planetary assaults. The hyperdrive capabilities of the Arquitens-class were equally well designed for versatility and reliability. Equipped with a Class II hyperdrive, the cruiser had respectable interstellar travel speeds, allowing it to respond swiftly to calls for reinforcements or to pursue targets across the galaxy. This hyperdrive rating allowed the cruiser to balance speed and fuel efficiency, making it a practical choice for missions across long distances. A Class 12 backup hyperdrive was also installed, serving as an emergency system to ensure that the cruiser could return to a safe location if the primary hyperdrive was disabled or damaged. This redundancy added to the cruiser's reliability, ensuring that it remained functional even in situations where the primary hyperdrive system failed. The backup hyperdrive, although significantly slower than the primary system, was a critical safety feature, particularly for a vessel that often operated far from centralized fleet support. Together, the Dyne 577 radial atomizer engines and the hyperdrive systems provided the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser with the flexibility to operate across various mission profiles and environments. The ship's engine design also supported its role as a rapid response vessel, particularly valuable for patrolling the galaxy's outer regions and responding to unexpected threats. This engine configuration made the cruiser a valuable asset within the Republic Navy during the Clone Wars and later in the Imperial fleet. The combination of efficient engines and robust hyperdrive systems ensured the Arquitens-class could reach its destination quickly, effectively enforce Imperial law, or respond to calls for support, wherever they were located. In the larger fleet structure, the Arquitens-class was often deployed to supplement faster, smaller vessels such as corvettes and scout ships, but its engine capabilities allowed it to keep pace with larger battle groups when necessary. These speed and propulsion characteristics enhanced the cruiser's ability to operate as a multi-purpose platform that could be used in various ways, including as a rapid interceptor, a command ship for smaller patrol fleets, and a supporting vessel in larger battle formations. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser featured a streamlined and practical design tailored to its role as a versatile light cruiser in both the Republic and Imperial fleets. Measuring 325 meters in length, with a width of 135 meters and a height of 56 meters, the ship's compact dimensions made it ideal for rapid deployment, patrol duties, and fleet support. The size allowed it to navigate environments where larger ships could not, making it invaluable for escort missions, rapid response, and frontline skirmishes. Despite its modest scale compared to larger capital ships, the Arquitens-class was well armed and equipped for combat, ensuring it could hold its own in a variety of engagements. At the heart of the cruiser was a powerful reactor that supported the ship's high energy requirements. This reactor fed into multiple systems including propulsion, weapons, and shields, enabling a steady supply of power crucial for sustained operations. The Arquitens shielding system was robust, featuring layered energy shielding to defend against enemy fire. The shield strength offered ample protection for a vessel of its size, allowing it to withstand enemy attacks for extended periods and giving it an edge in skirmishes with smaller craft or in support of larger ships. The ship's hull was reinforced with armor plating that added another layer of durability. Designed to resist energy blasts and kinetic impacts, the hull protected vital systems from direct damage in combat. Within the hull structure were two circular docking bays that allowed for rapid docking and deployment of smaller ships, essential for transporting troops, supplies, or smaller attack craft in coordinated operations. The Arquitens-class also came equipped with a navigation computer, which streamlined the plotting of hyperspace routes and maintained course accuracy during hyperspace travel. The ship's navigational systems were enhanced by its medium-range sensors, which gave the crew reliable situational awareness across a considerable distance. These sensors allowed it to detect enemy vessels or obstacles, monitor friendly forces, and anticipate threats in real time. The medium-range capability of the sensors made the cruiser highly effective in reconnaissance and patrol roles, as it could monitor and respond to developments without directly engaging until necessary. Additionally, the ship's targeting system was designed to assist in combat precision, particularly essential for a vessel that would often be coordinating or leading smaller fleets. With a cargo capacity of 1,200 tons, the Arquitens-class cruiser was capable of carrying significant supplies or additional armament, allowing it to sustain extended operations without immediate resupply. Its consumable stores enabled it to operate independently for up to 3 months, making it suitable for long-term missions in isolated sectors or on the frontiers. The ship was outfitted with basic crew amenities to support its personnel during these extended deployments, a feature that underscored its practicality in sustained missions. The design of the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser reflected the priorities of both the Republic and later the Imperial Navy: efficiency, versatility, and reliability. Its medium size and comprehensive systems allowed it to excel in a range of mission profiles, from patrol and escort duties to skirmish engagements and tactical fleet support. The cruiser's blend of agility, defensive resilience, and offensive capabilities made it one of the most adaptable vessels in the fleet, capable of serving a variety of tactical purposes and becoming a mainstay of galactic defense and Imperial enforcement. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser operated with a skilled crew of around 100 officers, enlisted personnel, and pilots, supplemented by an additional passenger capacity of 100 individuals. This compact but efficient crew structure enabled the cruiser to maintain high performance across a variety of missions, from reconnaissance and tactical support to frontline combat roles. The cruiser's crew was trained rigorously in both individual and cooperative operations, ensuring that each member was capable of executing their duties in concert with others to maximize operational efficiency. The officers and enlisted personnel underwent specialized training, often conducted at Republic or Imperial naval academies and Kuat Drive Yards facilities, where they gained expertise in navigation, engineering, communications, and weapon systems. Officers, in particular, were trained in tactical planning and mission versatility, equipping them with the skills needed for rapid response to evolving mission parameters. The Arquitens captain, who held ultimate command of the vessel, was usually a lieutenant commander or, in some fleet formations, a commander. This officer bore the primary responsibility for the cruiser's strategic decision-making and the welfare of its crew. In the execution of their duties, the captain would answer directly to fleet commanders or sector authorities, maintaining alignment with larger strategic goals. During engagements, the captain was responsible for making quick and decisive tactical decisions, adapting the ship's responses in the midst of combat, and coordinating with other ships or ground forces if the mission demanded. The captain's role extended beyond immediate mission goals to include the morale and discipline of the crew, ensuring that all members understood and were prepared for their tasks. Supporting the captain were officers who led key departments vital to the ship's operation. The executive officer XO acted as the captain's right hand and managed day-to-day operations aboard the cruiser, overseeing disciplinary measures, scheduling, and crew training to keep standards high. The XO's duties also allowed the captain to remain focused on broader strategic considerations, and this officer would assume command in the captain's absence. The chief engineer, meanwhile, held responsibility over the cruiser's reactor, power systems, and engines. This role was essential to the ship's success, as the engineering team had to manage power distribution across the ship's critical systems, from shields and weapons to propulsion. This team, comprised of engineers and technicians, worked under the chief engineer to maintain these systems during battle, ensuring they operated at peak efficiency. Weapons operation on the cruiser was managed by a weapons officer who oversaw the targeting and firing of the cruiser's armament, including turbolaser batteries, quad laser cannons, and missile launchers. This officer coordinated with gunners and weapons technicians to ensure the weapons systems were functioning properly and adjusted as needed for accuracy and reliability. Working closely with the weapons officer was the navigation officer, responsible for plotting hyperspace routes and monitoring sublight travel. Navigation was vital, as these officers needed to coordinate carefully to avoid hazards and maintain optimal positioning in space or atmospheric environments. Together with the communications officer, who managed secure channels and long-range transmissions, the bridge team maintained a constant flow of information to the captain and kept the crew informed of mission updates and orders. Pilots aboard the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser were essential for handling smaller craft, including shuttles and gunships that could be deployed in support or reconnaissance missions. trained in combat and transport protocols, these pilots were capable of executing critical support maneuvers, expanding the cruiser's effectiveness in larger operations. In the careful coordination of these roles and responsibilities, the Arquitens-class cruiser demonstrated remarkable operational flexibility, enabling its relatively small crew to manage and maintain a powerful military vessel. Through precise training and hierarchical command, this light cruiser fulfilled its role with efficiency, adaptability, and skill. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was equipped to carry a modest but capable complement of landing forces and an air group that provided it with flexibility in both offensive and defensive operations. With a passenger capacity of up to 100 troops, the cruiser was well suited for transporting ground forces to support planetary engagements, quick response tasks, or occupation missions. This complement of soldiers, often Imperial stormtroopers or Republic clone troopers during the Clone Wars, gave the ship a tactical advantage when securing objectives in hostile environments. Ensuring the cruiser could project power effectively in close combat situations or conduct rapid deployments. To support its ground forces, the Arquitens class was outfitted with land speeders and ship's boats, which provided essential transportation options for moving troops and supplies across planetary surfaces. Land speeders, in particular, allowed the landing forces to traverse various terrains swiftly, whether urban areas, rough wilderness, or open battlefields. This mobility extended the operational reach of the troops and enhanced their effectiveness in a range of combat scenarios, allowing the Arquitens to serve as a mobile base of operations in support of ground campaigns or occupation duties. The air group on board was modest but strategically valuable, consisting of 3 TIE Fighter series starfighters and 2 Lambda-class shuttles. The TIE Fighters served as a key component of the cruiser's defense, offering intercept and patrol capabilities in space, as well as air superiority over contested areas on a planetary surface. Though small in number, these fighters were capable of fending off enemy starfighters, providing escort to shuttles, and performing tactical strikes as needed. This small fighter wing enabled the cruiser to protect itself against smaller and more agile attackers while projecting a defensive perimeter in its immediate operational area. The Lambda-class shuttles, known for their versatility and durability, played a critical role in both troop transport and cargo logistics. They were ideal for securely transporting personnel, whether for deploying troops to a planetary surface or shuttling high-ranking officials between the cruiser and other vessels. With their heavy armor, decent speed, and capacity to carry both personnel and supplies, these shuttles expanded the operational capabilities of the Arquitens-class cruiser, ensuring that it could function effectively in scenarios that required secure transportation or rapid evacuation. Together, the landing forces and air group on the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser allowed it to execute a range of tactical missions beyond space combat. It could deploy troops, offer close air support, maintain a defensive air presence, and support ground-based operations on planets under Imperial or Republic control. The integration of both transport and fighter elements reflected the cruiser's purpose as a multi-role vessel, ready to respond to threats, transport and support troops, and provide an effective means of enforcement across the galaxy. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was a product of the vast and industrious Kuat Drive Yards, a shipbuilding powerhouse responsible for some of the galaxy's most iconic warships. Known for producing resilient and battle-ready vessels, Kuat Drive Yards designed the Arquitens-class cruiser to fill a niche in the Republic and, later, Imperial fleet. As a versatile light cruiser, it served various roles, from system patrol to command ship for ground forces, proving its worth as a reliable and cost-effective addition to the fleet. Priced at approximately 4 million credits, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser was a more affordable alternative compared to larger vessels in the fleet. This relative affordability allowed for the production of these cruisers in significant numbers without straining the vast resources needed to maintain the Republic or Imperial military machine. Despite the modest cost, Kuat Drive Yards engineered the Arquitens to exacting standards, ensuring it had the endurance and versatility to serve in numerous engagements. Its streamlined construction and relatively compact frame made it quicker to build and easier to deploy than the capital ships or larger star destroyers that required extensive resources and time. Constructing an Arquitens-class cruiser required a wide range of high-quality resources, including armored plating for its hull, durable materials for its reactor and engines, and the advanced technology required for its weapon systems, shielding and propulsion. Kuat Drive Yards, with its well-established supply chains, sourced these materials through contracts with suppliers across the galaxy. This logistical network was coordinated with rigorous oversight, ensuring a constant flow of components necessary for production. The shipyards at Kuwait were particularly skilled in managing such high-output production lines, maximizing efficiency while maintaining strict quality standards. As the Republic transitioned into the Galactic Empire, the demand for these light cruisers grew, as they became valuable assets in maintaining control over vast stretches of space. With the infrastructure already in place, Kuwait Drive Yards was able to ramp up production quickly, supplying the Empire with a steady stream of Arquitens-class light cruisers. This efficiency in production, coupled with the vessel's reasonable cost, made the Arquitens class a mainstay within the Imperial fleet and a frequent sight across numerous systems under Imperial jurisdiction. The logistical support for the Arquitens extended beyond just manufacturing. The Empire required a constant influx of trained personnel and skilled engineers to build and maintain the cruisers, alongside dedicated facilities for repairs and maintenance. Specialized parts, such as those for the Dyne 577 radial atomizer engines and advanced targeting and navigation systems, had dedicated supply lines to ensure that any cruiser in need of service could be quickly restored to operational status. The legacy of the Arquitens-class cruiser highlights Kuwait Drive Yard's ability to respond to evolving military needs, providing the Republic and later the Empire with a durable, flexible, and cost-effective solution for maintaining order across the galaxy. With its widespread production, streamlined logistics, and comparatively low price, the Arquitens class proved to be a practical and invaluable vessel in the Imperial fleet, standing as a testament to the skill and efficiency of its creators at Kuwait Drive Yards. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser, initially developed for the Republic Navy, rapidly became a staple during the Clone Wars following its rushed deployment in 22 BBY. Its role as a versatile light cruiser made it ideal for the Republic's needs as it served in both supportive and offensive engagements against the Confederacy of Independent Systems. One early appearance of the Arquitens class was during the Battle of Saleucami, where the cruiser Surrogator became integral to Jedi General Obi-Wan Kenobi's strategy. The Surrogator was deliberately deployed as a decoy to lure General Grievous, ultimately sacrificing itself in the ensuing close-quarters engagement. Similarly, other Arquitens-class cruisers took part in notable battles, including the defense of Camino, where they supported Republic forces repelling an assault led by Grievous and Asajj Ventress. These cruisers demonstrated resilience and agility in responding to various crises throughout the Clone Wars, enhancing their reputation in the Republic fleet. In another instance, during the Togruta slave crisis on Kyros, an Arquitens-class cruiser known as the Hand of Justice played a crucial role in the rescue mission led by Jedi Master Plo Koon. This cruiser, helmed by Admiral Barton Coburn, assisted in the daring infiltration and evacuation of Togruta slaves from a slave processing facility on Kadavo, securing their transport to safety. The ship's maneuverability and docking capabilities allowed it to adapt to diverse tactical demands, from planetary engagements to fleet coordination. In the war's later stages, Arquitens-class ships took part in pivotal confrontations, including the prolonged Battle of Ringo Vinda, where they held their ground against persistent separatist forces. Following the Republic's transformation into the Galactic Empire, the Arquitens-class light cruiser seamlessly transitioned into Imperial service. Now branded as the Imperial Light Cruiser, it continued to bolster fleet operations across the expanding Empire. One notable vessel, the Thunder Wasp, under the command of Commander Alfred Cheno, played a key role in the Imperial campaign to pacify Umbara. During this operation, Captain Thrawn and Ensign Eli Vanto used the cruiser's capabilities to neutralize a critical Vulture droid transmission station, underscoring the cruiser's adaptability in diverse combat scenarios. Later, Thrawn commanded a trio of Arquitens-class light cruisers during the Baton Sector insurgency. Using creative tactics, he leveraged the ships to deploy repair barges containing TIE fighters, which ambushed enemy forces and helped secure victory for the Empire. The Arquitens-class light cruisers underwent significant evolution during their service with the Imperial Navy, particularly as the Galactic Empire sought to modernize its fleet in response to the growing threat posed by the Rebel Alliance. Several years prior to 4 BBY, the Imperial Navy recalled all Arquitens-class cruisers still in service to Kuwait Drive Yards for an extensive service life extension program. This initiative aimed to revamp the aging ships, leading to the development of the Arquitens-class command cruiser. The refitted vessels featured dramatically enhanced speed, agility, and combat capabilities, aligning them with the Imperial Navy's strategic objectives. One of the notable command cruisers during this period was the Telstar, which played a crucial role in a mission ordered by Grand Moff Wilhuff Tarkin. After the destruction of the Imperial Communications Center on Lothal, the Telstar was employed to capture and relay intelligence from surface courier droids. This operation drew the attention of the Spectres, a group of Lothal-based rebels who successfully infiltrated the cruiser to locate Kanan Jarrus, a Jedi survivor of Order 66. The Arquitens-class command cruisers continued to engage in various military operations against rebel forces. During a blockade of Ibar, several of these cruisers, working alongside Gazanti-class cruisers under the command of Imperial Security Bureau agent Alexander Callas, attempted to prevent the delivery of relief supplies by Phoenix Squadron to the starving inhabitants of the planet. Despite initial success, the blockade was ultimately breached by the arrival of a prototype B-wing fighter, which was capable of penetrating the cruiser's defenses. This event highlighted the ongoing arms race and tactical evolution between the Empire and the Rebellion. On another occasion, while patrolling the planet Garrel, an Arquitens-class command cruiser responded to reports of a stolen shuttle. The Imperials discovered that the shuttle was docked with the Shadowcaster, a ship operated by Lothal rebel operative Sabine Wren. In a clever ruse, Wren tricked the cruiser's crew into believing the shuttle was in danger, allowing her and her team to escape just as the shuttle exploded, damaging the cruiser and facilitating their getaway. The command cruisers continued to serve actively throughout the escalating conflict between the Empire and the Rebellion. They were involved in operations against the Phoenix Rebel Cell, responding to a variety of threats while attempting to intercept rebel forces. In 2BBY, one of these cruisers successfully intercepted a rebel convoy, launching TIE interceptors that quickly eliminated the opposition. As tensions heightened, Admiral Thrawn observed numerous encounters involving the Arquitens-class cruisers, particularly during key skirmishes such as the one over Maikapo, where they were badly damaged by the Spectres. Despite the technological advancements brought by the refits, the Arquitens-class cruisers faced continual challenges from the resilient Rebel Alliance. Their missions included attempts to capture high-profile targets like Mon Mothma and various skirmishes against the Ghost and other Rebel ships. Even as the Imperial Navy sought to utilize the cruisers effectively, the ingenuity of rebel operatives often thwarted their plans. The operational history of the Arquitens-class cruisers continued into the tumultuous years following the Battle of Endor in Year 4 after Battle of Yavin. Their presence diminished due to a shortage of available cruisers caused by assaults on Imperial shipyards, yet they remained in service during key engagements. One cruiser was involved in skirmishes on the Imperial world of Vardos, while another met its end during a conflict on Takodana in Year 5 after Battle of Yavin. Despite the decline in their numbers, a Class 546 model remained active under the command of Moff Gideon, indicating that the legacy of the Arquitens-class cruisers endured well into the Imperial era, adapting to the ever-evolving landscape of galactic warfare. Reeled from the defeat of the Emperor and the fracturing of the Empire. For the Imperial remnant, maintaining any semblance of control in a rapidly fragmenting galaxy meant relying on established ships like the Arquitens. The class served mainly as a command and support vessel, integrating into the fleets of local warlords and Imperial officers attempting to hold onto their territories. Over time, as these factions were either dismantled by the New Republic or unified under the leadership of figures like Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Arquitens found its place within a streamlined, resource-limited navy. Its multi-purpose capabilities and relatively low cost made it an invaluable asset, particularly as production facilities and raw resources became scarce due to the galaxy-wide civil strife. As Imperial fleets consolidated under the Imperial remnant, the Arquitens class saw steady action against insurgent cells, criminal organizations, and remaining rebel forces that had now joined the New Republic Defense Force. This era saw the Arquitens class take on diverse roles, from escort and patrol duties to blockade and defensive operations in key sectors. The cruiser's effectiveness as a command ship for smaller fleets allowed it to serve as a tactical bridge for Imperial commanders who needed a nimble but capable vessel to coordinate operations across scattered engagements. Its quad laser cannons and turbolasers, along with complementing TIE fighters, provided enough firepower to counter smaller New Republic ships or rogue groups, while its agility allowed it to evade larger New Republic capital ships when necessary. By the time of the Yuuzhan Vong invasion in 25 Abi, the Arquitens class had undergone numerous modifications and was deployed alongside a more modern Imperial fleet that had been forced to adapt to the new galactic threat. The Yuuzhan Vong War represented a galaxy-spanning crisis on an unprecedented scale, as the extragalactic invaders used biotechnology and tactics that were alien to any known military strategies. As the New Republic struggled to stem the invasion, The Imperial remnant initially remained isolated, maintaining a defensive posture to safeguard its own borders. However, as the Yuzhan continued their relentless assault, swallowing entire planets and ecosystems, the Imperial remnant recognized that it would need to join forces with the New Republic to ensure mutual survival. In joint operations with New Republic fleets, Arquitens-class Light Cruisers were deployed in defensive and reconnaissance roles, using their advanced sensor suites and modified targeting systems to track Yuzhan movements. One of the notable challenges of this war was the Yuzhan's use of organic technology that made traditional sensors and targeting systems unreliable. In response, engineers aboard Arquitens-class cruisers and other Imperial ships adapted their systems to detect the unique energy signatures of Yuzhan bio-organic constructs. Arquitens cruisers frequently operated in forward positions, relaying vital intelligence about enemy fleet compositions and tactics to larger Imperial and New Republic capital ships stationed in the rear lines. The cruiser's small size and agility also allowed it to evade direct confrontation with the larger, more destructive Yuzhan warships, which had the advantage in raw firepower but often struggled to deal with fast-moving vessels. At battles like Ithor and Borleas, where Imperial and New Republic forces fought side by side, Arquitens-class cruisers helped coordinate fighter strikes and capital ship movements, leveraging their versatility as command vessels. These battles were marked by unprecedented tactics and losses, as the combined forces of the galaxy adjusted to counter an enemy that used living ships, biological weapons, and adaptive combat techniques that confounded traditional strategies. During the later stages of the war, Arquitens-class cruisers were often grouped into battle clusters alongside Nebulon B frigates, CR-90 corvettes, and Dreadnought-class heavy cruisers. These combined fleets presented a versatile and layered defense against the Yuzhan forces. Arquitens cruisers, in particular, played a critical role in protecting larger capital ships, acting as screening vessels that intercepted coral skipper swarms and targeted smaller Yuzhan ships attempting to break formation. In several engagements, Arquitens cruisers coordinated with TIE fighter squadrons to intercept enemy bioships, using precision strikes to disable key vessels that posed an immediate threat to larger warships. Even after the defeat of the Yuzhan, the galaxy was left scarred by years of relentless warfare, and the Imperial remnant retained the Arquitens class in its fleet as it focused on rebuilding. The ship remained popular for its adaptability and cost efficiency, embodying the pragmatism that would define the post-war Imperial fleet. By the time of the galactic peace brokered with the Yuzhan, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser had become a symbol of endurance, its service in the Clone Wars, the Galactic Civil War, and the Yuzhan invasion marking it as one of the most versatile and enduring designs in the galaxy's history. The Arquitens-class Light Cruisers, originally designed for the Republic Navy, underwent significant modifications under the Class 546 program, transforming them into formidable command cruisers tailored for the evolving needs of the Imperial Navy. This program was initiated as part of a broader strategy to enhance the capabilities of existing vessels, ensuring they could effectively respond to the increasing challenges posed by the Rebel Alliance and other threats. The modifications resulting from the Class 546 program led to the introduction of the Class 546 Command Cruiser, which boasted a length of 381 meters, a width of 163 meters, and a height of 66 meters. These dimensions represented a substantial increase from the original Arquitens-class specifications, reflecting the need for enhanced internal space to accommodate additional systems and personnel. The upgraded design featured a more robust engine system, including 3 primary engines and 4 secondary engines, significantly improving the vessel's maneuverability and speed in both combat and logistical operations. One of the most critical advancements in the Class 546 Command Cruisers was their armament. The cruisers were equipped with 4 dorsal and ventral quad turbolaser turrets, enabling them to deliver devastating firepower against enemy vessels and ground targets alike. This upgrade not only enhanced the cruiser's offensive capabilities, but also provided them with improved defensive systems, making them a central part of Imperial naval strategy. The Class 546 Command Cruisers also expanded their operational roles by including additional facilities for various Imperial forces. Multiple hangars were incorporated to accommodate at least 8 TIE LN space superiority starfighters, ensuring that the cruisers could engage in dogfights and protect themselves against enemy fighters. The inclusion of at least 2 Imperial transports allowed for rapid deployment of troops and equipment, further emphasizing the command cruiser's role as a versatile platform for both offensive and defensive operations. In addition to its enhanced combat capabilities, the Class 546 Command Cruiser also featured specialized facilities for ground forces. The ships were equipped with a dedicated Dark Trooper bay, housing a platoon of third-generation design Dark Troopers advanced combat droids designed for frontline assaults. This integration of advanced ground forces demonstrated the Empire's focus on blending traditional naval power with cutting-edge technology. Additionally, the presence of a contingent of stormtroopers and Imperial starfighter pilots on board ensured that the cruiser could operate as a self-sufficient command hub during complex military operations. The Class 546 modifications also introduced new launch systems, including launch tubes for deploying ground forces and starfighters quickly and efficiently. These enhancements made the cruisers more flexible in various combat scenarios, allowing them to project Imperial power across multiple fronts. Overall, the Class 546 program exemplified the Empire's commitment to maximizing the potential of its existing fleet. By upgrading the Arquitens-class Light Cruisers into Class 546 command cruisers, the Imperial Navy not only enhanced their firepower and operational versatility, but also ensured that these vessels remained a crucial element of Imperial military strategy throughout the Galactic Civil War and beyond. The successful integration of advanced technology and enhanced troop capabilities underscored the importance of the Arquitens-class cruisers in the Empire's quest for control and dominance in the galaxy. The Arquitens-class Light Cruiser is recognized for its combat survivability and effectiveness in direct engagements, factors that contributed to its longevity in both the Galactic Republic and Imperial fleets. Several aspects of its design and operational capabilities enhance its resilience and performance on the battlefield. One of the key features contributing to the Arquitens-class's survivability is its armored hull, designed to withstand significant damage from enemy fire. This robust construction provides a crucial defense against both energy-based weaponry and physical projectiles, allowing the cruiser to endure sustained assaults. Its energy shielding layers further augment this defensive capability, providing an additional buffer against incoming attacks. While the shielding is effective against most conventional weaponry, it is particularly useful in protecting the ship from direct hits from turbolasers and other heavy armaments. The Arquitens class is armed with a formidable array of weaponry, including turret-mounted twin-light turbolaser batteries, heavy quad laser cannon batteries, and missile launchers. This diverse arsenal allows the cruiser to engage multiple targets simultaneously and effectively defend against swarms of enemy starfighters. The combination of these offensive systems enables the Arquitens class to maintain a robust defensive posture while delivering significant firepower to neutralize threats, making it a competent adversary in direct combat scenarios. The cruiser's design allows for tactical flexibility, which is crucial for survivability in combat. Equipped with advanced sensor systems and targeting technology, the Arquitens class can detect and respond to threats efficiently. Its speed and maneuverability enable it to evade attacks and reposition itself during engagements, allowing it to take advantage of cover and maintain distance from larger capital ships that could pose a greater threat. In addition to its combat capabilities, the Arquitens class serves as a command platform, allowing fleet commanders to orchestrate tactical operations effectively. This command functionality ensures that the ship can coordinate with other vessels in its fleet to maximize their collective effectiveness, improving overall survivability through coordinated strikes and defenses. By operating as part of a larger formation, the Arquitens class can leverage its strengths and mitigate vulnerabilities. The deployment of Arquitens-class cruisers often adhered to a combat doctrine that emphasized their strengths while minimizing exposure to overwhelming enemy forces. They were frequently used in roles that allowed them to strike at strategic targets, engage in hit and run tactics, or provide support for ground operations. This approach reduced the likelihood of the cruiser being isolated and overwhelmed by superior enemy numbers. During the Clone Wars, for example, Arquitens-class cruisers often operated in flotillas, supported by other Republic vessels and Jedi starfighters. This strategy not only provided protection from enemy assaults, but also allowed the cruisers to capitalize on their versatility, striking at vulnerable targets while maintaining a defensive formation. Despite its many strengths, the Arquitens class is not without limitations. While it can hold its own against smaller vessels and starfighter groups, it is more vulnerable when facing larger capital ships or concentrated fire from heavy weaponry. In such encounters, the cruiser must rely on its speed and maneuverability to evade direct hits and avoid prolonged engagements against superior firepower. Additionally, as the war progressed, advancements in enemy technology and tactics, particularly from the Rebel Alliance and later factions, posed new challenges for the Arquitens class. Improved starfighter designs, heavy assault ships, and advanced weaponry could exploit weaknesses in the cruiser's defenses, making tactical adaptability and situational awareness increasingly important for survival. In summary, the Arquitens-class Light Cruiser boasts a strong overall combat survivability profile characterized by its resilient design, effective armament, and tactical flexibility. While it is well equipped to handle direct combat scenarios, its effectiveness is heightened when deployed as part of a larger fleet, allowing it to maximize its strengths while mitigating vulnerabilities. The combination of solid defensive capabilities and a versatile combat role ensures that the Arquitens class remains a formidable presence in the ever-changing landscape of galactic warfare.